Hi, I'm Bart Herbison, Executive Director of the Nashville Songwriters Association, and this week, the story behind the song for the Tennessean and Tennessean.com, one of the great ones ever, The House That Built Me. And one of the great songwriters ever, Mr. Tom Douglas, and a fine human being. Good to see you, my friend. Before we get into that, I love the way you kind of got discovered. Tell us the Paul Worley story.
Well, I was in Austin at a songwriting seminar in the summer of 1993, and I had known Paul Worley when I had lived in Nashville once before, and then I was here for 4 years, and I was gone for 10 years, and I reconnected with him at this songwriting seminar in Austin in '93, and I gave him a cassette of a couple of songs, and one of the songs was a song called Little Rock. And I expected never to hear from him again, and about 3 days later he called me and he said, I think one of these songs I think I can get it recorded. So then he signed me to Sony Publishing, and I was the ripe old age of 41 when I got my first country song recorded.
Well, and you're nominated for the Songwriters Hall of Fame this year. Congratulations, Tom. You certainly deserve it.
Well, I don't deserve it, but thank you.
So, The House That Built Me, you co-wrote with Hall of Fame songwriter Alan Shamblin. What a great idea. You kind of reverse the way typically people would look at that idea.
Well, that was really Alan's genius. We were at Sundance through the Bluebird, and Alan came in the restaurant one morning and he said, "You know, I've been reading this article about houses and memories, and I was thinking about where I grew up." And he said, "What if there was a song that was, about, instead of the house that you built, the house that built me?" And really, as soon as he said it, it was like the sirens started screaming, the lights started blinking.
Did y'all have it written before you got into the room?
Well,
it is one of those that kind of.
The crazy thing is, it took us 7 years to get it right.
What?
We wrote it and demoed it, turned it in, and got absolutely no response. And then we were so convinced we had a classic that about, I don't know, maybe once or twice a year we'd get together for years and just look at it and think, what is wrong with it? Why is this not resonating? And finally, I think what we figured out was it's too complicated. There's too much story, and we made it simpler and simpler and simpler. We took out a lot of information, kind of, drilled it down to the essence. And as soon as we demoed that, we turned it in, and it was a palpable reaction.
Did the melody stay the same?
The melody was pretty much the same. It was just the song structure was, we kind of had some obscure references.
Such as
rebuilding, a Dodge in the garage with your dad. Let me see what some of the other, maybe more references to high school, and it was all good information. But as often, what happens with songs is that's good backstory for the writers, but it doesn't have to be in the song.
Right.
So I think, over those years, we finally synthesized it down as like, what is absolutely essential, and let's just put that in there. And then one thing that we did not have that we finally found at the year, we did not have the line, which was, "If I can just come in, I swear I'll leave and won't take nothing but a memory." We did not have that.
Which kind of flips into the meat of the song.
And that line is almost as important as the hook.
Yeah.
So
was it American Pie? Was it 97 minutes long before, or what?
It was long. I mean, it would be an interesting study, to compare the. You'd be good at doing this, being the professor, to study.
Because I teach a whole seminar on your song, Leaving October.
I'll give you the original demo and the original lyric.
Let's do that together. Let's do a video lesson for songwriters.
Yeah.
Because here's another lesson, I think, for songwriters, and I'm going to compliment you and Alan, and I've seen Alan do this before. I don't know if you've done it. We haven't talked about it. Most people wouldn't have kept going on that song. You're trying to do what's next. You're trying to write with the artist. What's the latest idea? Publisher, nothing's happening with it. You give up. But that's some persistence and perseverance, man. Why on that song? You just knew something was there? Or?
Well, I mean, we knew something was there, and I think, you know.
But am I right? That's not common. That's
most
very
people
rare.
do not rewrite.
Not like that.
Not like that. But, you know, Alan loves the process, and he is, you know, very patient and realizes that, you know, it's, I mean, really, if you look back over anybody's career, even, you know, Billy Joel or Paul Simon, or it still is a handful of songs that really defines a career. And I think, you know, everybody is frantic today trying to write the next song. I mean, I'm as frantic as anybody, but if you can force yourself to slow down and almost go back and think about those songs, rewriting is just an essential, you know, Love's the Only House.
We sent the boat by 3 times.
Yeah. Right.
So, speaking of careers, is the story/urban legend I heard right that Miranda cuts it, and I think it was her career song, obviously. But Blake had it first?
Terry Wakefield at Sony sent the song to Scott Hendricks, who was producing Blake Shelton. Because my original demo is a piano vocal. I mean, just very similar to like I did it. So we just kind of heard it as a guy's song. He sent it to Scott Hendricks. Scott Hendricks loved it. Sent it to Blake. And their process is Scott Hendricks, the producer, collects 20 songs a week, FedExes them out to Blake. When he comes in off the road on a Sunday night, he gets his CD and he sticks it in his CD player, and it's a 3-hour drive from the airport to his ranch in Oklahoma. And this, what I'm getting ready to tell you, is not true, but it's a very good story. So he gets in this truck. He's with his girlfriend. It's thundering and lightning. It's a windswept Oklahoma highway. And he puts the CD in to try to stay awake. And he's got a cup of coffee. And third song in, this song, The House That Built Me, comes on. And all of a sudden he hears his girlfriend just crying. And, I mean, really weeping. And he says, "Gosh, baby, what's wrong?" And she says, "That's my story." And he said, "Well, if you love it that much, maybe you should record it." And so fortunately for us, Blake Shelton had the presence of mind to have a beautiful girlfriend who's a talented singer, Miranda Lambert. And that's literally how the song got to Miranda.
It won every award, as it should have, including the one the songwriters voted on. But tell me about the Grammy.
Well, you know, Alan and I did not win the Grammy.
I know, but
it was nominated for. Miranda won a Grammy for female vocalist singing "The House That Built Me." We were.
Now, were you there?
We were there. We were. Then, truly, the remarkable thing about it, "The House That Built Me" was nominated for Song of the Year for the Grammys in the country category, but also in the main category,
which is very rare.
It's rare for a real country song to be up there with, you know, Bruno Mars and CeeLo Green, and you know, I mean the other pop guys. But yeah, I mean that was really something. I Need You Now. I Need You Now won the Grammy for...
Which you wrote.
I wrote I Run to You.
I Run to You, I'm sorry, okay. But Lady A, you got the Lady A connection.
I got the Lady A connection, so we were up against formidable competition with Lady A, and they won, and that's a great song as well. So, it was, you know, I mean, we were right there on the floor. I was sitting back of Miley Cyrus and her mother, and, you know, there's... who's the guy that did all the songs with Bette Midler? Barry Manilow was right there, and I mean it was a pretty surreal moment. We had Miranda and Blake right there, and so she won the Grammy and got to go up and perform the song on the Grammys. So.
Awesome, special night, and a special song, and that's the story behind the song, "The House That Built Me." Alan Shamlin and the great Tom Douglas this week for the Tennessean and the Tennessean.com.
This place or feel the brokenness inside.
inside me might start healing. Out here it's like I'm someone else. Thought that maybe I could find myself. If I could just come in, I swear I'll leave. I won't take nothing but a memory from the house that